Supporting the Professional Identity Development of Early Childhood Teachers, a DRP Pecha-Kucha. For young children, research shows that the first 5 years of life are actually the most critical in terms of brain development. According to the Center on the Developing Child, at birth, children are already learning at a rapid pace, and within the first few years, more than 1 million new neural connections form every second. These neural connections, which make up the architecture of the brain and provide a foundation for skills needed later in life, are influenced heavily by interactions, relationships, and the environment. We also know that around 60% of young children will spend at least some of their time in some sort of early childhood programming. Because of the amount of time children spend in programming, and this being such a critical period for development, high-quality early childhood programming is crucial for healthy development. One factor that contributes to high-quality early childhood programming is high-quality early childhood teachers. Unfortunately, early childhood educators are often undervalued, overlooked, and misunderstood, especially in terms of what they do every day. In fact, in terms of pay over time, a bachelor's degree in early childhood education is actually the lowest yielding bachelor's degree someone can obtain. Being underpaid and undervalued causes for high turnover rates and contributes to a workforce shortage being experienced across the nation. Preschool teachers have a turnover rate between 25 and 50% yearly, and most who leave the field entirely. Working in this field for the past 14 years, I have seen this personally, including the negative effects on young children. Additionally, the field has become somewhat of a revolving door, with the workforce entering the field from a variety of backgrounds. And despite the critical role early childhood teachers play in the lives of young children, the profession is akin to occupations like fast food workers and dog walkers in terms of pay and value. In fact, I have been told on more than one occasion it must be nice to play all day. Although there has been a recent push to support in the professionalizing of the field of early childhood education and hopefully gain the much needed respect and validation of what these caregivers do every day, there is still a lot of work to be done, including changing society's perception of what it means to be an early childhood teacher. Yet it's important work, and figuring out how to support the workforce will lead to better outcomes for society. There are many solutions to the problem of how to professionalize the field of early childhood education, but one way this could potentially be done is by supporting early childhood teachers with developing a sense of professional identity, especially early in their careers. There is a link between professional development and building up professionalism in terms of supporting professional identity development. Lutton, 2012 states, "Teacher quality is built, sustained, and increased through career-long professional development, with attention to deliberate recruitment of candidates with promise, early experiences that inform and build commitment to the profession, successful degree completion, and workplace-embedded training, coaching, and peer collaboration." So knowing what we know about the relationship between high-quality programming, high-quality teachers, and professional development, Mile High Early Learning has created a CDA training and seminar, which is a 16-week training course that provides early childhood educators with the 120 hours of foundational content that is needed to apply for an entry-level credential in the field. The training has been offered both internally and outside of the organization, with roughly 175 participants completing the training to date. Although summative assessment data is collected at the end of every cohort, the training has not been formally evaluated in terms of impact, especially in thinking about growth that occurs within individual participants. Professional identity, although defined in many ways, encompasses many different things. What we do know that in order for an occupation to become defined as a profession, it has to have members with a well-developed sense of professional identity. This dissertation research project aims to evaluate Mile High Early Learning CDA training and seminar in terms of professional identity development. The research question is, does completing Mile High Early Learning CDA training and seminar support professional identity development of early childhood teachers? This study will use a mixed methods approach, collecting both qualitative data in the form of in-person interviews and quantitative data in the form of a 5-point Likert scale survey that will be administered at the start of the training and then again at the end of the 16 weeks. so utilizing a pre-post-test research design. Knowing that there are many characteristics that can define professional identity, for the purposes of this study, the following characteristics will be defined and used to measure professional identity development: knowledge and beliefs, values, commitment to the field, and self-efficacy. Once the survey data has been collected, a small group of participants will be interviewed about their experience with taking the training. The interview questions will focus on how the participants believe their practice has changed because of their participation in the training. The possible limitations of this study should be discussed. First, it should be noted that the researcher who will be collecting the data for this study is also the person who designed the training. That is me. This has the potential to cause observer bias, which is the tendency for researchers to see what they want to see, or what they expect to see. Another limitation is around the ability to generalize the study to a population. Due to sample size, this study cannot be generalized to an entire population. In order to increase generalizability, it would be important for this study to be repeated, and with a larger sample size, and possibly with teachers outside of the Denver metro area. Despite the study's potential limitations, collecting the data and evaluating the program's impact will help Mile High Early Learning in many ways. One, if we know the training program is contributing to helping early childhood teachers develop professional identity, the next steps would be to identify in what ways. Knowing this information could help inform how professional development is designed internally moving forward. We already know that young children benefit from being in high-quality early childhood environments with high-quality teachers who are trained and identify as professionals. Investing in quality training that supports early childhood teachers to develop a sense of professional identity will contribute back to the field and could potentially increase retention rates.